Hello children, good morning. We have completed our first lesson, almost everything. When we are in the class, we used to have writing skills also. Means paragraph writing. Here it is given in your textbook on page number 11. Writing. Write a, page number, yes, 11. Not 11, 1 minute. Knowing your values, okay. You have to write on your own, expressing your feelings. What is it? Suppose here one topic is given. The topic is, think your classmate or your friend is sad in the class because her or his kitten is lost. What will you do to comfort her or him? Comfort means soothe him, to make him all right, to set right his mood. What do you do? See, if anybody is in the problem, we can soothe. Soothing means making them feel comfortable, making them forget the sorrow they have. Understand? What can you do? For example, if your friend is there, he lost his puppy or kitten. How do you do? If we are in the class, we can discuss it. Everybody can give your own views or opinions. One can say, teacher, I will go to his home and play with him. Other can say, I help him find the puppy or kitten. The third will say, I would help him to buy the new puppy. Or the fourth one say, I will help him, I will gift him the kitten on his birthday. Or whatever is there, in 5 sentences, you please write. It should be like creating an atmosphere, creating a scene. How, for example, I tell from my side, you decide how to write. See, how do you write? See, I am one of your classmates. I say like this. Yesterday evening, after completing my homework, I went to Chaitanya's house. When I went, he was looking little sad and dull. I asked, why are you sad? He said, nothing. But he couldn't hide his feelings from me. When I asked again and again, he said he lost his kitten. He loved it very much. It was his pet and it was the birthday gift from his dad on his last birthday. So he loved it very much. Then I told him, you don't worry, let us search it together. Then I helped him searching. We searched it in neighbor's house and in the nearby ground, on roads everywhere. We couldn't find. He became still panic. So we thought of going to the terrace and playing for some time to make him comfortable. When we went there, to our surprise, we could find the kitten sitting in the corner in a very afraid manner. The reason for that was that day a big dog came to their house chasing it. So it was afraid and it hid itself. But luckily he got his kitten back. Like this, something you have to write on it. Okay. So this you are doing on your own. So we are going to our next lesson now. What is our next lesson? A question of grammar. Lesson name itself is A question of grammar. So, grammar is very tricky thing. If you use it correctly, it gives correct sense, meaning. If little bit wrong it goes, some misunderstanding will be created and all. Here in our lesson there is a boy, playful boy, naughty boy, who always does some or the other thing and put himself in problems. And in our lesson also, see, one thing I tell you, if you ask permission for anything to your parents, if they say okay, means they give permission, you feel well and good, right? Happy. But if they don't give permission, then what? Feel sad, you again pester them, asking again and again, crying, you try to make them agree somehow. But even then also, if parents do not agree, you find your own ways how to fulfill your wish. That is what the boy does, and doing this, trying to fulfill his wish, how he was put in a problem is our lesson. Understand? A single word in a grammatically used in a wrong way, how it gave wrong meaning to this boy is our lesson. Okay. So, for example, when you go to the doctor, if you are not well, having fever or anything, does the doctor first gives you injection and then he will ask you what had happened? How does he test generally? He will just open your eyes and see. He will ask you to open your mouth, show your tongue and all. Okay. Then, if you at home, naughtily, if you are, just anybody is doing anything and you are showing your tongue like this, is it not? Is it a good thing? Do your parents keep quiet? They say, don't show your tongue like that. They shout at you. But so this, if you show the tongue out, I am going to pull out your tongue like that, something your mummy tells you, right? So if you go to the doctor, doctor asks you when you are sick, doctor asks you to show your tongue. Then also, no, I don't want to show, you say. Why? You think doctor also will pull your tongue out. It is not like that. This is a part of joke. Okay. But here, this misunderstanding. Mummy says she will pull out your tongue. So, you think the doctor also will do the same thing. And you don't want to show your tongue to the doctor. I don't want to show my tongue to anybody, you say. So, our lesson is all about such a naughty boy. What is the name of our lesson? A question of grammar. Here today, you be with your textbook, open it on page number 16. I am going to read the lesson once. When I am reading, you also run a finger on the line and have a pencil in your hand. And if you feel any word difficult, just go on underlining such words. And then I will write the words on the blackboard. Let us read them. Then you will find whether both of our words are same or not, or anything extra you did. It is a kind of reading practice. So, are you ready, children? Let us read the lesson first. This reading is half learning. If I read, you listen properly, try to understand. Half lesson you would learn just like that. After reading, if time permits, I will give you the hard words. Or else, today I will read the lesson. Tomorrow I will give you difficult words. William Brown. So I am starting the lesson reading. Please look into your textbooks. Page number 16. William Brown is a reckless 11-year-old boy who always gets into trouble. One day, he learns that his parents are going to visit his aunt soon. Since he will be alone at home, he wants to invite his friends to his house for a small party. and decides to ask his father for permission. Father was reading a paper in the dining room when William entered the room. When you all are away this Saturday, can I have a party? William asked his father. Understand? When William comes, what was the father doing? He was reading the newspaper. Then he asked his father, when you all are away this Saturday, can I have a party? William asked quickly. No, of course not, said his father, irritated. Irritated means feeling angry. William spent most of the English grammar class in school next morning thinking about this. Father says, no, I want a party. What to be done? He was not interested in grammar class going on in the class. Teacher was taking English grammar class. That time what was going on in his mind? Just about the party. So William spent most of the English grammar class in school next morning thinking about this. What did he do in English grammar? But he was thinking about what to be done when his father is out. What great fun it would be to throw a party in his parents' absence. He thought, what a great fun it would be to throw a party in his parents' absence. Throwing a party means just like this, I am throwing a chalk piece. Is it throwing party? Means to have a party, to arrange a party for friends and relatives. Throw a party means. Understand? He thought it would be wonderful. When parents are not there, he can do whatever he wants. His friends also are free to move all around and they would have a fun. He thought in that way. This thoughts were going on in his mind when the English class was going on. English grammar class was going on. Just then, Miss Jones interrupted his thoughts. What have I just been saying, William? She asked. Just then, Miss Jones, who is Miss Jones? His English teacher. She interrupted his thoughts. Interrupted means, sorry for interruption ani meeku TV lo vastundi madhya madhyalo. It means sorry for disturbance. Understand? Just then, Miss Jones interrupted his thoughts. He was thinking about the party. She interrupted. Means disturbed his thoughts. Means she stopped him from thinking. What have I just been saying, William? She asked. Because the teacher noticed that William was not attentive in the class. He was not listening the lesson carefully. She understood it. So she put the question to him. What she asked, what did I do till now? What have I been saying? What was I explaining? She asked her. William sighed, looking blank. He only vaguely remembered something about participles. So, William sighed means took a long breath, deep breath. And he couldn't remember everything teacher taught because he was not attentive in the class. If you are attentive in the class, you don't forget what the teacher teaches you. If you are inattentive, you are involved, means you look like sitting in the class, looking at the teacher, looking at the board, but actually your mind is traveling somewhere. Okay. That is not called the correct concentration. That time, if a teacher asks you anything, because teacher knows who is listening carefully, who is not listening, then teacher puts the question, means you will be getting disturbed, at times confused, you are puzzled. So, he looked blank. Blank means without any feelings, because he did not remember what the teacher taught. He only vaguely remembered something about participles. Vaguely means unclearly. Vaguely means unclearly. Huh? He vaguely remembered what teacher taught. She taught participles. Do you know participles? See, while I was teaching you the verbs, tenses, I taught you ing form of verbs. Write, writing. Huh? These are called participles. Present participles rather. We call them present participles. We call them present participles. What are these present participles? They are nothing but ing form of verbs which can be used as adjectives. Or noun form, to make verb into noun form. Verb plus ing. It is called present participle. Writing, reading. Reading storybooks is a good habit. I take it as a noun. He developed good reading skills. Understand? Writing neat handwriting is very essential, very important for all of us. Looking at the sky is a fun for me. Like that. These ing forms, they can be used both as noun or adjectives. They are called participles. So, he only remembered that, oh, teacher today, she was teaching participles. That much he remembered. Miss Jones groaned. I was saying that two negative make an affirmative. I am. So, it means that two no's means yes if they are in the same sentence. If you said there is not no money in the box, you mean there is. She explained like this. What she was explaining, if we use two negatives in the same sentence, they give affirmative sense. Affirmative means positive sense. How? It doesn't mean that I don't know the answers, but I don't want to answer. It doesn't mean. For example, I will show you one example on the blackboard. You don't think I didn't, I can't answer your question. What do you mean? I don't think. Here it is negative. This is also negative. But if two negatives are used in the same sentence, they make affirmative sense. నేను తెలుగులో ఎలా చెప్పాలి? నేను నీ క్వశ్చన్స్కి ఆన్సర్ ఇవ్వను అని అనుకోవద్దు ఎప్పుడు. అంటే దాని అర్థం ఏంటి? నేను నీ క్వశ్చన్కి ఆన్సర్ చెప్పగలుగుతాను. అవునా? ఇది పాజిటివ్ సెన్స్ అయింది కదా. డోంట్ థింక్ దట్ ఆల్ ద క్యాట్స్ do not drink milk. Means all the cats drink milk. If any two negative senses are used, negative auxiliaries or helping verbs are used in the sentence, they make a assertive sense, means positive sense. Understand? Got what I said? I hope you understood, Anna. Don't think that your parents are not aware of your mistakes. Means you don't think that your parents do not know your mistakes. Means they know about your mistakes. This is how we make positive senses. When I was saying that two negatives make an affirmative, it means that two no's means yes if they are in the same sentence. If you said there is not no money in the box. There is not no money in the box means there is money in the box. You mean that there is money in the box. She explained. William considered. Then she said, if you say no and not in the same sentence, does it mean yes? Certainly. Now William asked, if I use no and not in the same sentence, you mean it means yes? Then she said, certainly, surely, yes, definitely. That much he remembered. Okay. But how to use these negatives in the sentence, he did not remember. So, on Friday, William casually distributed invitations to 30 friends. My parents are going away tomorrow and said I could have a few friends for tea. Can you come over? So, on Friday, Saturday parents were going out. On Friday, when he went to school, casually, very freely, relaxed manner. Casually means in a relaxed manner. He invited how many friends? 30 friends. Saying that my parents are going out tomorrow. Will you come to the party to my house? He said, I could have few friends for a tea. Tea party. Tea means only tea we don't have. We will have snacks around with the tea. Understand? They all accepted the invitation. They all accepted the invitation. See children, here one word we got. What it was? Absent. Absence. William wanted to have a party in his father's absence. Other form of words here. Invite, invitation. Invitation. Like that. Other form of a word. So, he invited his friends for the party to his house when his parents were out. He was sure that his parents will go out on Saturday. So, he wanted to give a tea party to his friends. On Saturday, William's merry guests flocked to the gate. All happy mood, all the friends, they grouped, crowded near the gate. The cook stared at them. Staring means looking at them with wide open eyes. Just like this, the cook was looking at them. And he was stunned. Stunned means shocked. Why did so many people came here? Why have you brought all these boys up? She asked William. The cook asked, why have you brought all these boys here? They have come to tea, said William calmly. They have come to tea. I invited them for the tea party, said William. They have not. Your father said. She was telling, your father said no, inka ame notlo nunchi no ane shabdam word kuda tiyaledu. Understand? No, they should not come. Your father said that they should not come. Ane anali. Antalopala he said they could come. Said William. I asked him and he said, yes, of course. No, father said they could come. He said, yes, of course. The cook shut the door The cook shut the door in his face, horrified, and bolted the back door. When she started fastening the windows, William aimed a stone at the drawing room window. The brave party entered through the broken window and started running up and down the stairs, leaving trails of muddy boots and shattering ornaments. William, meanwhile, locked the cook up in the cellar. So, cook was opposing. She was not allowing him to get the friends into the house. But he did not listen. Then what did the cook do? Horrified means frightened cook. What did she do? She bolted the back door and she closed the windows. What did William do? He aimed at the drawing room window. What did he do? He pelted a stone at the window. So window pane broke and all the party means group of the children, just pushed into the room through the broken window and started running here and there, up and down. Understand? And leaving, what did they do? They did not even remove the shoes, leaving the trails of muddy shoes. Marks of muddy shoes were seen everywhere all around the house. Shattering ornaments. Ornaments means not the one we wear. Ornaments means shattering means throwing here and there. Ornaments means here decorative pieces at home, in the hall, drawing room. We keep so many decorative pieces in showcases and all. They were taking out, throwing here and there. Just they were creating a mess. And what did William do? William locked the cook in the cellar so that she should not come out and see what had happened. Okay. So, he did not allow her to, he did not allow her to get into them, their all mess, thinking that if she comes inside, she would spoil my party. William locked her in the cellar. Then what happened? Whether his father came before his party was over or he was caught hold, we will learn tomorrow about it. And whatever I taught, I will once again read the lesson. You just listen to me. So, I explained till page number 16 and 17 I explained, children. So, who would do the tea and all for the children? It is the cook. But cook was kept in the cellar, locked in the cellar. So, he was very much panic how to prepare tea for the friends. So, let me read the lesson. You also read it at home. William Brown is a reckless 11-year-old boy who always gets into trouble. One day, he learns that his parents are going to visit his aunt soon. Since he will be alone at home, he wants to invite his friends to his house for a small party and decides to ask his father for permission. Father was reading a paper in the dining room when William entered the room. When you all away this Saturday, can I have a party? William asked quickly. No, of course not, said his father, irritated. William spent most of the English grammar class in the school next morning, thinking about this. What a great fun it would be to throw a party in his parents' absence. Just then, Miss Jones interrupted his thoughts. What have I just been saying, William? She asked. William sighed, looking blank. He only vaguely remembered something about participles. Miss Jones groaned, shouted, I was saying that to negative makes an affirmative. It means that to no means yes if they are used in the same sentence. If you said there's not no money in the box, you mean that there is, she explained. William considered. Then he said, if you say no, I'm not in the same sentence, does it mean yes? Certainly, said Joan. On Friday, William casually distributed invitation to 30 friends. My parents are going away tomorrow and said I could have a few friends for tea. Can you come over? They all agreed. They all accepted the invitation. On Saturday, William's merry guests flocked to the gate. The cook stared at them, stunned. Have you brought all these boys up? She asked. They have come to tea, said William calmly. They have not, she said. Your father said? He said they could come, said William. I asked him and he said yes, of course. The cook shut the door in his face, horrified, and bolted the back door. When she started fastening the windows, William aimed a stone at the drawing room window. The brave party entered through the broken window and started running up and down the stairs, leaving trails of muddy boots and shattering ornaments. William, meanwhile, locked the cook up in the cellar. Then it struck him. It was tea time and there was no tea. A few moments later, his spirits rose again. Till here I explained. Tomorrow we will continue. So thank you, friends.